Andor doesn't play like typical Star Wars. It's raw, unflinching, showing what it costs to fight a lie-soaked empire. Episode 9, streaming on Disney Plus, picks up after the Gorman Massacre in Episode 8, where the Empire butchered civilians, branded them as terrorists, and clamped down harder. We're on Coruscant now, and Mon Mothma is prepping a speech that could kill her. Cassian's ready to quit the rebellion, and the Empire's propaganda machine is relentless. After the devastation in Episode 8, Episode 9 has to deliver, and trust me, it does, digging into destinies and choices that hit like poetry. The Empire spent years vilifying the Ghorman, convincing the galaxy they deserved it. Episode 8 showed their resistance, crowds chanting, singing their anthem, united in peace, but the Empire rigged the game. An Imperial sniper shot their own soldier to ignite chaos, and it became a slaughter. Now, this isn't your typical, flashy battles that you see in Star Wars. It's primitive. Every death is a tragedy. The Empire spun it as terrorism, and Coruscant senators cheered martyrs who fought the Ghorman. It's wild propaganda that twists truth to justify horror. Well, we knew Gorman's fate. Its resources fueled the Death Star. The certainty makes it hurt more. Even Imperials like Dedra Meero, who orchestrated it, crack under the weight. She's clutching her collar, panicking at the carnage. And then we have Syril, another Imperial, who helps set it up but faces betrayal. His story ending in rage and ruin. This is Andor showing how fascism poisons everyone it touches. Cassian's not just caught in Gorman's chaos, he's fighting back. In Episode 8, he tries to assassinate Dedra Meero, the Imperial brain behind the massacre. But he's done, dreaming of escaping with Bix, leaving the rebellion behind. That moment shows a man who's fought too long, carrying the weight of every loss. It's like George Lucas said, everyone has a destiny, but choosing it isn't easy. Cassian's running from his. Mon Mothma's Senate speech is a Star Wars moment for the ages. She stands tall, calling the Gorman Massacre genocide and naming Emperor Palpatine as the monster behind it. She declares, "The distance between what is said and what is known to be true has become an abyss. The death of truth is the ultimate victory of evil." This chamber's hold on the truth was lost on Gorman Plaza. The monster we helped create, who will come for us all, is Emperor Palpatine. Mon has spent years in the Senate, but this is her breaking free. Dropping her blue and gold shawl, she's all white, reborn as the rebellion's leader. She's uniting rebel cells, stepping into legend like Luke or Obi-Wan. Bail Organa's cunning using Articles 17252 to secure her floor makes it possible. It's kind of a detail that grounds Andor in real stakes, showing destinies chosen in defiance. Cassian and Bix's arc is just heartbreaking. After failing to kill Dedra and surviving Gorman, he's done with the rebellion. He tells Bix, "I want this right here. I want to be with you." Chasing a quiet life, but a Force healer's prophecy that he's meant for more. He's a messenger. Changes everything. Bix, believing he's the rebellion's hope, leaves him with a video message that shatters your heart. She says, "I can't be the reason you leave here. If you gave this up for me, I'd never forgive myself. We have to win. I'm choosing the rebellion. When it's over, I'll find you." Now, I gotta say, Adria Ahona's raw performance is Emmy-worthy. Her eyes carrying love and pain. Knowing Cassian dies in Rogue One without seeing her again crushed me, man. This sort of redefines his Rogue One sacrifice. He's fighting for Bix's dream. They're Star Wars' greatest, most tragic couple, torn apart by destiny. Syril's downfall was perhaps one of the most disturbing for me, because his story is a tragedy of wasted potential. And Episode 8's Gorman Massacre seals his fate. He dedicated his life to the Empire, believing it brought order. But posing as a Gorman rebel sympathizer, he saw flaws in the Empire up close. He saw chaos, not control. This was perhaps the perfect setup for him to turn rebel, but Syril couldn't let go of two unhealthy attachments: his obsessive love for Dedra and his burning hatred for Cassian Andor. Syril's love for Dedra blinded him. He craved her approval, ignored his doubts, and never saw how her imperial loyalty used him. When the massacre unfolds, he's horrified, and he's not even scared. He's just staring like he did when Cassian killed his men in season 1. Kind of like a poetic echo showing he's back where he started. His hatred for Cassian, who ruined his career, consumes him. And when he sees Cassian during Gorman, Syril just snaps, tackling him in a rage-fueled attempt to kill him. And then Cassian asks, "Who are you?" And Syril was just dumbfounded by it. And he couldn't believe that the man he hated for so long don't even know who he is. And then suddenly, and as he lowers his gun in disbelief and just taking a moment to think about it, and boom, he gets shot in the head by the pacifist Gorman front leader, Caro. So Syril saves Dedra again, like in season 1, but this time it kills him. He holds Cassian at gunpoint, mirroring when Cassian spared him but hesitates. Maybe he was seeing his own mistakes. So fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Syril's fear of failure, fueled by the Empire, led him into the dark side, destroying his chance at redemption. I love how Andor shows the grip that Sith has on ordinary people, making Syril's end both tragic and profound. I mean, for a moment, I thought that maybe Syril has a chance for redemption until they just someone blew his head away. So Cassian now becomes a journalist as Rooney Guja infiltrates the Senate to extract Mon Mothma. Mon meets Cassian for the first time, and it's electric, especially when he grabs her hand after killing a driver. And perhaps Mon, for the first time, just sees the cost of rebellion. Now, Bale's extraction team has a traitor, Beskha, who tries to arrest Mon for the ISB. Beskha draws her blaster, and Erskine just redeems himself, accusing Beskha of being a rebel to spark chaos. And then Cassian kills her, shocking Mon's sheltered world. Cassian gets Mon to Luthen's safe house where she sees his traces. Mon heads to Yavin with the rebel escort, while Cassian takes injured rebels, Will and Drina, for medical help. So Luthen orchestrates Cassian's mission and tips Mon about the traitor, but he's ruthless. He admits Erskine's his spy, uncaring how it breaks Mon's trust. She fears him more than the Empire, recalling how he handled her friend, Tay Kolma. Luthen saw Gorman's massacre coming and let it burn, believing it would spark rebellion. So Luthen is basically fighting for a sunrise he'll never see, embracing death for the cause. Cassian sort of begs him to join Mon on Yavin, but Luthen chooses shadows. That's his strength. But just like Syril, he is shaped by hard choices. But there's one thing, Luthen's clarity makes him chilling. I wonder if he's the rebellion's necessary evil. So the episode ends with a flicker of hope. They activate K2SO. Cassian's salvaged the Imperial droid from Gorman, and rebel techs rewire it. So Alan Tudyk's dry humor lands. He tells Cassian to point his gun elsewhere. Perfect breather. So episode 9 weaves into Star Wars tapestry. Mon's escape sets up her uniting the rebel fleet in Star Wars Rebels. Bix's choice fuels Cassian's Rogue One drive, fighting for her vision. And K2SO's new origin, breaking comics, fits the march to Rogue One, locking in Cassian's final year and Mon's Rebel Alliance. So let's talk more about the characters, what drives them. Let's peel back these characters' souls, because episode 9 shows what makes them tick. And let's start with Cassian Andor, a man split between love and fate. Gorman and the failed Dedra hit leave him exhausted, craving Bix's peace. The healer's prophecy and Bix's exit trap him in a destiny he rejects. He's bottling guilt and grief. His quiet stares hiding a storm. He's forced onto paths that hurt. Then we have Mon Mothma. She's idealism forged into steel. Her speech comes from years of Senate failures. She's done compromising. Erskine's betrayal and Cassian's violence shake her, but she grows into a leader who accepts rebellion's cost. Her heart may be heavy, but unbroken. Now, Bix is different. She's selfless, carrying the healer's words like a burden. Leaving Cassian is her sacrifice for the rebellion, hiding fear behind bravery. Her video's intensity shows a woman choosing hope over love, betting on a future she may not see. Then we have Luthen. He's a strategist who's shed his humanity. Using people like Erskine for him are just tools. He justifies Gorman's cost for victory. He's completely detached, and perhaps he's accepted his doom. The man who'd burn the galaxy to win. His character is quite complex, because he's chillingly rational too. I mean, quite the opposite of Syril, who's basically driven by passion. And then we have Dedra. She's I would describe her as ambition unraveling. Gorman's success made her feel invincible, but its horror, bodies everywhere, sparks panic. Her loyalty to the Empire traps her, humanizing her fear but not her crimes. I think she's simply ambition, blinded by consequences. And lastly, we have Siril, he's basically fear turned to ruin. Gorman's chaos exposes the Empire's lies, but his love for Dedra and hate for Cassian chain him. His hesitation to kill Cassian shows a flicker of doubt, but fear, anger, and hate, those are the traits of Sith, and it basically consumed him. I think this quote from Yoda describes his character best. Fear is the path to the dark side. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering. So up till now, I think Cassian is a reluctant hero. He is torn from love to destiny. And we know what's going to happen in Rogue One. So his sacrifice is driven by Bix's decision. But it's a selfless choice. Mon Mothma, once an idealist, becomes a commander, her bold speech sparking the Rebel Alliance to unite scattered cells. Bix, I think she's an unsung hero. She sacrifices her future with Cassian, her love quietly fueling his rebel purpose. And Luthen is just a shadowy strategist who secures victory through ruthless acts like Gorman, someone who basically accepts his own damnation. Dedra, the Empire's cold reflection, reveals human panic yet remains a villain for orchestrating Gorman's horror. Syril, a tragic pawn, succumbs to a dark side path, his downfall a stark warning of the Empire's betrayal of loyalty. Together they paint the rebellion's toll. Love, trust, and lives lost for a chance at light. Andor is showing us what it means to choose your path, even when it breaks you. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Episode 9 is Star Wars at its richest. Sure, politics, but I don't basically give a crap about that. So I don't talk much about politics. But, well, the politics in the show is just beautiful. It's poetic. You see, you got Mon's defiance, you got Cassian's pain, you got Syril's fall, you got Luthen's darkness, and you have a rebellion that's worth rooting for. Flaws and all, it's paving the way to Rogue One and the Rebel Alliance. But more than that, it's a story about choosing your destiny in a world of lies. Anyways, this was a review made by the morbidly obese duck, and I'm just going to waddle away now. Quack.